I think there comes a point where the version of you that got you here can't take you any further, and it's a weird feeling because you don't notice it at first. You kind of go through life doing what's always worked for you until one day it doesn't. You feel stuck, and for me, that's when I knew I needed something to change. The old version of me that played it safe, that wasn't looking at the bigger picture, he had to go. But it wasn't as simple as deciding that I needed to change. First, I needed to figure out who I was even holding on to in the first place. As humans, we're heavily influenced by our fears, our past failures, our environment, our expectations that we put upon ourselves, the expectations that others put upon us. And honestly, all of these things can be really good in helping us achieve our current dreams and goals that we're living in now. But one thing that people need to remember is that things that served you in the past don't necessarily serve you in moving towards your future. And this is where we need to identify the parts of ourselves that served us in getting us to where we are now and letting them go because they have become anchors and no longer serve us into where we are going. So, what I recommend doing, and it's something that I do, is conducting a personal audit, identifying the parts of yourself that you love and know for sure will carry you to where you want to go, and then identifying the parts of yourself that no longer serve you and you know are a bottleneck and weighing you down. And so, as we evolve and shift throughout life, our goals and ambitions become bigger. And before in life, we had incremental stages that we went to with smaller goals. And as we progressed through life, the goals got bigger and bigger. And so, those mindsets and models and habits that we had may be too small in helping us achieve the bigger and larger than life goals that we want to achieve. And so, what we need to remember is that past models aren't bad, they're great. They help shape you into the person that you are today. But you have to recognize a point where they need to be forgotten and left in the past because you need to make room for things that will come into your life and help you grow to where you need to be now. And so, what a lot of people don't recognize and talk about, in my opinion, is the grief that comes along with having a mindset shift because it's not all about a mindset shift. You have to let go of core pieces of yourself that have become a part of your identity and say goodbye to them to make room for other things that will help you grow and flourish. The grieving process of growth can be a very emotional process because this is where discomfort is at an all time high. You had to shed old parts of yourself and you feel vulnerable. You may feel lonely, isolated, and fearful. And this is a stage where a lot of people self sabotage and bring themselves back to the old version of themselves because they can't deal with the discomfort because who they were is gone and who they want to be isn't exactly here yet. But I want you guys to know that this is a process that everyone has to go through and no one gets to skip it. But this place is called liminal space, where who you are is gone, but who you want to become isn't exactly here yet. But also, this is where the most beautiful things can happen because that emptiness you're feeling, kind of that identity crisis that you may be going through, you get to sit through it and figure out things about yourself that you may have not known were there before. You get to try new things, acquire new skills, experiment, and learn. And this experimentation is where transformation happens because you get to say goodbye to your old self, but also ask yourself at the same time, who do you want to become? This transformational period is where rebirth happens, and this is where one of the most exciting things possible can happen to you. This is where you get to decide who you want to become, what you want to do, what does your life look like, how are your relationships with your friends, family, loved ones, what is your ideal life, who do you want to become. You can get very specific and very vivid with your ideas. Paint your perfect future life, everything that you want to achieve, all of the dreams you've had, list them out and go through them. No dream is too small or too big. If you can think it and you can dream it, you can make it happen. You get to take that paintbrush and paint on a blank canvas the life you want to create. All of those curiosities that you've had an interest about, but you were too afraid to go after, you had the chance to pursue them fully. That career, that job that may have seemed impossible or too far fetched, you get the chance to bet on yourself and make it happen. I think everyone deserves the opportunity to live out their dreams and their desires in the fullest way and to just give themselves a chance. The power of choice, autonomy is so powerful and encouraging. And when you see others win and you start to surround yourself by others and have that internal belief, this will lead to one of the biggest transformational growths in your life. And like I said before, if you can think it and if you can dream it, you can make it happen. So go out there and make it happen. The truth is, not everyone's willing to let go of who they've been. But if you felt that call, if something inside you has been telling you it's time, trust it. Because on the other side of that grief is someone you haven't met yet. Someone you get to create. Thanks for watching. As always, go out there and do great things, and I'll see you guys next time.